Hello everyone. So let us begin our learning in this online mode to make you enrich with the content of the history. I thought of just shooting this video, and in this video we will try to understand the chapter that is the making of national movement 1870 to 1947. The chapter is having a full length. That's why I thought of divided into a 2-3 parts, and going through that 2-3 part you will able to understand this chapter easily rather than going into one video frequently. So what is the title of the chapter? That is the making of the national movement. How that moment has uprises. What made people think to organize such movement? These are some of the basic things that we need to know. You know, when colonial ruler started to administrate our country, initially they convinced the people that they were leading all their activities for the progress of the people or for the development of the nation. So many people were in opinion that colonial rule lead to development. But slowly, when people aware about the exploitive nature of the Britishers or colonial ruler, the exploitive nature of the Britishers, then they started to oppose them. And this oppose in the different sphere sprouted the feeling of nationalism. What is it? The feeling of nationalism. Now, what is nationalism? Often we get confused with the patriotism and nationalism. When we talk about the patriotism, it means having a feeling of love for one nation. That is patriotism. But when we talk about the nationalism, it is a very wider concept. Nationalism means connectedness. Okay, what is it? Connectedness. And this connectedness may be of different sides. It may be connected to one's culture, okay, connected to customs, connected to rituals, connected to the dialects, language, okay, connected to the folklores of the country. In that way, when people have a connection with all those things which are belongs to them, and the feeling of owningness, that connectedness is called what? The nationalism. You see, when we heard somewhere people were singing national anthem, immediately we stand in the attention position. What is the reason? That is our connectedness. Connectedness of what? My nation's anthem is being singing by someone, and being a citizen, I have to show my respect. So this kind of connectedness. We salute our tricolor flag. Why? That is a connectedness, the symbol of my nation. Yes or no? This kind of connectedness is called what? The nationalism. Now, this feeling started to emerge. And emergence of this feeling, that is the nationalism, initiate the process of the making of national movement since 1870 to 1947. But I do not mean, or chapter do not says that before 1870 such feelings were not there. We have seen the first war of independence, 1857, the revolt of 1857, yes or no? But here the chapter is dealing with this period of time. Okay, so we will focus on this period of time. Means in this phase of time, what happened exactly, that these ideas started to emerge. So there were some few things happened. Okay, that is what the idea of sovereign state. Now what is sovereign state? A state which is ruled by its own people, or you can say this way also, a state which has a power to govern its own territory. That is sovereign state, right? Now this kind of thought started to come in the mind of people, that India belongs to who? This is whose country? This is whose nation? Who should rule? When this kind of idea or this kind of question started to come up in the mind of the people, they started to explore the answer. This is whose nation? Who should rule this nation? And who are ruling this nation? This kind of thought started to come in the mind of the people. And that sovereign thought, when started to come in the mind of the people, India is ours, it is our country, and we have the right to rule. Why these foreign powers, so-called Britishers, why they are ruling? Now they started to question the British administration, right? They started to question the British administration in India. Okay? Now see, they questioned. Not only that, not only the administrative system, but the exploitative nature of the Britishers has drained the Indian wealth to Great Britain. Today, they call themselves as a developed nation. Often, they feel that we are lagging behind them in after several years of independence. But fact is that you are in that position by looting our nation. India is called as a drain of wealth for the Britishers because they have looted uncountable wealth from here, and that wealth they have taken to their nation. Now, not only the wealth, the forest resources and other mineral resources which are available in our country, which is one of the basic need for any nation for development. These all resources were utilized for the development of the Britain rather than India. But what they were telling? They were telling that we colonial rulers were promoting developmental program in India. Railway they have established in India, but motive was not to provide or not to enrich the people, Indians, with the facilities of railway, but motive is they were carrying the resources of our nation from different part of the country, and they were exporting that resources to their nation. Now this exploitative nation of the Britishers, exploitative nature of the Britishers also questioned the Indian to themselves to think who should use the resources, who are using resources. Another issue. Okay? And when all this series of things happened, there were so many discussions, so many debates, people started to speak in the public platform, So many writers, they started to write the exploitative nature and the poor administration of the Britishers. So many poets, they started to talk about the sovereign idea, and all these ultimately give a thought to the people to form for some political association. Okay. In this phase, 1870 to 1880, some political associations were formed, like Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, Pune Sarvajanik Sabha. Now, such association was formed, and this association, they started to question. Now, the association was formed by the top class lawyers of our nation. The Pune Sarvajanik Sabha was formed by the lawyers, Indian lawyers, and they were questioning. Okay, what they were questioning? The series of activities that Britishers are taking. This political association opposed, along with the citizens, this thing. That is what? The Arms Act Law of 1878. Do you remember the legend Mangal Pandey, who opposed the British order? Working as a soldier in British Army, he denied to follow the order, and he raised the weapon against the colonial ruler. After that incident, Britishers thought that it is risky to give weapons in the hands of Indians. And ultimately what they did, they passed an act that is called as the Arms Act Law. Passing this act, it disband or disallow the Indian soldier to carry the weapon. Okay? It's disallow the Indian soldier to carry the weapon. Clear? Now, this thing made many people, this is not healthy. It made them think that how in the same workplace the people are treated differently. Okay? This is one reason of dissatisfaction of the Indians. And these political associations, along with the Indians, they opposed the Arms Act Law. Another is Vernacular Act. This Vernacular Act, you see, when there is a lots of discussion, people started to criticize the colonial rule. Now so many articles, the newspaper, in those days were written in various regional dialects or languages. Okay, and reading that, many of the people, they were getting updated, or they were getting the real information about these colonial rulers. And slowly, let nobody should criticize the colonial ruler. They imposed censorship. Except Hindi and English, in other regional languages and dialects, no articles were allowed to publish. Now see, this kind of attitude of the Britishers would make you feel that they were leading a developmental program in our country. No. So the Vernacular Act of 1878, which did not allow any regional languages, and its publication in our country is another reason why there is a dissatisfaction. Next is the Albert Bill. The Albert Bill has given our lawyers and the judges, to participate in the decision making in any kind of proceeding which is taken against the European. Okay, what I said? The Albert Bill has given our lawyers and judges a right to participate in the decision making or discharging verdict in the judicial trial which is lead or carried against European. But when this bill has given this right, many of the European, they opposed the Albert Bill of 1883. Suddenly, the large number of opposed, which come from the European sides or European people sides, the bill was taken back. Now, when this bill was taken back, that time the people, they were very unhappy. Indians were very unhappy, and they thought of forming some strong association to fight against them. And the process begins with the 1880. Okay, the process begins from 1880. Do you know? And in 1885, the month of December, okay, the Congress was formed as a political party. The Congress was formed. It was formed by AOU. Okay, it was formed by AOU. After that, what happened? We will discuss in the next video.